Hi all, right back with more Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection. Scenario 3 Morning Glory. This is my part 8. I've just put part 6 out there. Haven't watched back part 7. I've managed to get a couple of bits done the last couple of days. We're still on turn 5. Had to go and watch back just to find out the situation here because we had activated one of Warsaw Pact flights but not the other one. Well, moved it. I wasn't sure what chitter draw. I've not left any indication, which I've done that the last twice now, which is a bit silly of me. However, it was they drew a 3 initiative chit, so and they'd only had 2 flights to move, so they are going to just move their other flight. Nothing to talk about. Let's say I've just released part 6 just now, so good time to just press record before any comments do come in. Well, that's maybe not true if I have to try and fix things, Anyway, so Glasgow is the other flight to move. Now, he just wants to sit around his rally point, doesn't he? Put a card 5, the sword guard. I'll not bother showing you this, I'll just read it out. If already adjacent to orbit rally point, combat throttle, stay at current altitude and move as necessary to remain adjacent. So there we go. So and he's the MiG-23 member. So combat throttle at high is going to be 5 movement points. I don't know if, again, nothing really said, but you know how we don't need to use 5, I could use 4 here. So there's nothing that says about doing that. Well, apart from combat throttle, stay at current altitude and move as necessary to remain adjacent. So I suppose you could sort of say, well, I'll only use 4 of that 5 and we'll just... But anyway... The fact it's up 5 means that we've only got the 90 degree turn and the free 30 degree turns, so which I think means, well, I don't really think it really matters. You know what? I'm going to go 1. Oh yeah, I was going to say no, I'm not, because I'm going to get hit by this. But no, we're not, aren't we? We're immune to any of our friendly airfields, no matter what altitude we're at. That was a special instruction in the bullet rules, wasn't it? Yeah. So if I move 1 movement point into the RC, that's 4. And then I'll do a 90 degree turn. 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 movement points to go. 1. Free turn, I guess. And then 2. Yeah, I'm going to end on a free turn, a thing with turn anyway. So 2 free turn, and then 3 free turn. So it does mean we're finishing on a turn. Whether that was possibly avoidable, I don't know if it's a big deal. Well, actually it could be, because if he doesn't rally again, it means he can't turn straight away. He's going to have to go into that hex. I don't think it's going to matter. We're still going to be able to get back adjacent to the rally point, aren't we? So yeah, he stays. So he's still disordered at high altitude, and he's got a max turn marker on him. Let's see. I suppose I might have been able to avoid that, but I don't see it as a big deal. Okay. Well, that's it. Right, that's both their flights moved. So now, it's us. Okay. Well, I'll move my bombers first, and I'll tell you why. Just when I was watching that last part, it'll be part 6, I realised I maybe not thought this out. Whether it makes any difference here or not, I don't know, but it kind of looks like it might. Why am I flying both these flights for these two? We've got another two up here. So surely this flight, who's slightly further north, should be heading up to this one and then go on to this one. And let this guy attack this arm unit and this mech unit. So it kind of like tells me that I should be flying that up. And to be honest, I think I might have turned this guy. I've only turned him. It's not that I've come down or anything. But I think I'm better just heading up that way. And going for this one. It's going to take me a while to get there. But I think by the time I get there, he'll only just be maybe here coming up to that one. And then, I think that kind of makes more sense. So I'm going to move Cylon 1 free turn, 2 free turn. So he's facing up the spine of the hex. He did finish on a turn there. Zoom climb, there we go. Back of that's a max turn. So he finishes with a max turn marker, stays at low altitude. And there's not any issues. I mean, you can just head straight up to this now. And but as for the other guy, as for Wizard, he's just going to keep to his plan. And I'll mark that one off. He's going to stick to his plan because he can now reach this in 2 turns, can't he? So 1 free turn, 2. So we're sitting perfect here. So next turn we move in there, put our IP down, second movement point, we move in there and drop our bombs. Yeah, that's why we're at low altitude. They don't fire at low, and that's why we went to low, wasn't it? The issue is with this one because it's not the mech that's going to fire, it's the actual airfield. And it's going to fire up at us on that one, isn't it? It's player card 1, is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, because these count as small arms, and they only fire at deck altitude. They don't fire any higher than that. However, this one, this hex in here is in the barrage zone of the airfield, and it fires at deck low and medium, and we can't climb to high and drop our bombs. So yeah, we're going to have to hope for the best around that one. Yeah, I suppose that's something to think about. I mean, because this is the only one that's got the issue. All the other 3 targets are not got any issues in their hexes, as long as I'm sticking to low altitude, and it's not a problem with them. So, well, we'll see when we get there. Like I say, I think it's a roll of 16. I want to say, yeah, at low altitude, it would be a 16 for us to get hit. A die roll 16. However, that -1 that applies, does that apply? Or does that apply automatically, or does that only apply if you get hit by the SAM, by the white barrage? I think that just applies automatically, yeah. So we're also going to have a -1 modifier to start with that bombing run, I think. Okay. Well, never mind. There's not a lot we can do about that. The only thing I could consider, well, we're probably going to reach that before we reach that last target. I don't know if there's nothing. Yeah, no, you're not going to have the time to reach there and come back down there, though, are you, Grant? You can see these are pretty slow, so I'm not going to have the turns to do that. So I think we'll just have to hope for the best. Well, the fact we've shot down one of these pilots already, one of them has given us 5 points and one of them 4 points. I don't know which one we shot down, but and we also get the points for shooting the aircraft down. And I'd like to think we'd pick up something from these. So yeah, let's just move on and not worry about it just now. I'll just move the plexi there a little bit. No, I don't think it was really showing anything. Right, we're okay. But that's our two bombers moved in. So we've got Lion now. Well, I'm not really sure what to do with Lion. Well, let's move Chevy first then. So he's got BVR avoid. He's also got a maneuver marker. Rostov is facing towards him. Yeah, because he's BVR shot, didn't he? So, right, well, hang on then. Right, so with both the markers, the maneuver marker, a flight that begins its movement with a maneuver marker must expend half of its movement points rounded up. See, again, I'm reading that and wondering if I did get that round the right way. Yeah, it must expend half of its movement points rounded up. I'm pretty sure that's right. I hope so, because I think did that not matter? No, I'm not sure it did. No, it didn't. It didn't in the end, because I was looking at the wrong thing, wasn't it? I was looking, we were at medium altitude, weren't we? That was for Rostov, I think. Yeah, because we're at medium altitude, so we've only got a speed of 4. Yeah, it didn't matter in the end. So, hopefully that gets out there, and I do get confirmation that I did get that right. Although I'm going to have to do it here. So, which one do you do first, though? Do you get a choice? Because I'm starting my movement with a maneuver marker, so I must expend half my movement points rounded up. I don't think it matters, does it? And then I'm starting my movement, a flight that begins its movement with a BVR avoid marker must spend 1 movement point to remove the marker before it expends any other movement points. And however, that says the same, before it expends any other movement points. Right. How and what order? There must be an order that you do that. Does it matter? Could it matter? If we had 5 movement points here, I think it could matter if you had 5, because if you had 5, and if I'm right that if I was rounding that, I then end up with 2, and then I spend 1 for BVR avoid. Whereas if I spent my BVR avoid movement point first, that takes me down to 4, and then I half that down to 2. So I'd be better off. So if I've got my way of thinking it right, then it does matter which one gets done first. Is it just your choice, maybe? Well, you know what? I'll leave that out. I'll leave that out there for John. Keep him busy. Because it's not going to affect us here. In what order do I need to address the markers, John? Because I think I can see where it would matter. So my guess is going to be that it's my choice and how I deal with it. I have to do them both before I spend any other movement points, and I can probably do them in any order. So I'll leave that one with you. And we've got 4. Well, unless of course we can dash, can't we? Yeah, there's nothing to stop us from dashing, is there? Is there? Is that going to help though? Because I'm going to have to spend half of it. So if I set it at 4 and half it to 2, and then spend 1 for the BVR avoid, I've got 1 movement point left. If I go dash at 6, half it to 3, yeah, I do gain a point, don't I? So we'd end up with 2 movement points rather than 1. I don't think that's going to help me though, is it? You know what? At 4, I've got a turn of what? 90 degrees, 30, 60, 90. Ooh, why not just turn and BVR? Yes. Yeah. I think I can do that. I just spend my 1 movement point. Okay, let's see if this works. So I set combat throttle for 4 movement points. I remove my maneuver marker, and that takes half of my movement points away, down to 2. And then I've got a BVR avoid marker. I take that away, and that costs me another movement point. I've got 1 movement point left. Well, I only hope I didn't have a turn. No, because he attacked me, didn't he? No, I'm thinking of the air-to-air combat, not the BVR combat. Well, I clearly didn't do any turning. Well, I can only hope that I've not. You know, I have been putting the max turn markers on, so if I use my 1 movement point, a speed of 4 gives me 120 degree. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. 120 degree turn. 120 degree turn. Yeah, it's not even. It's 90. It's 120. That's even better. So 30, 60, 90, 120. Hello, Mr. Rostov. We're at medium altitude. We've got him in our front arc. So that's me done with my move. But with that move, I'm going to attempt BVR combat at a range of 1 with my AIM 9Ls. And okay, they're not the best, but well, to be honest, the AIM 7F only gave you a +1 anyway, right? Yeah, I think we're doing this. We're doing this. So we're at the same altitude. We've got them in our front arc, right? So we're going to attempt. Well, we're attempting the engagement. So let's put a curve 1. So let's attacker announces, yeah, engagement. Both, no, Grant. Only attacker rolls for BVR engagement. If successful, proceed to step B. If unsuccessful, fight continues, movement. Okay. Okay, so engagement attempt. On BVR, it's a base of 9. Right, hang on, let's just check. There are the requirements here. Defender detect. Yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah, he was. Well, he only fired with BVR. That does not undetect. He is detected. I think hopefully if that visual detection thing was right. Defender in range of attacker undepleted BVR weapon. Yes, we have AIM 9Ls that have a range of 1 from the front. Infrared BVR weapon is line of sight. It is an infrared missile, but we're staring them right in the face. There's no line of sight issues. Rules of engagement must allow. Now, it's there. It's got it there. Attacker and defenders forward arc or forward rear B marks. Yeah, no shot of friendly flight within 3 hexes. Not a problem. Of target. Attacker and defenders rear arc. There's a different sort of, yeah. But we're in its front arc, so all good there. Look down must not apply. Okay, we're sitting at medium altitude and he's at medium altitude. So there's no look down issues because we do have limited look down capabilities. Which I think mean, if I would, well, I'm not going to look at it. I think I can't look down at deck and low maybe. But we're both at medium, so all good. Attacker not defense wheel. Attacker's defender. Attacker has defender in forward arc. Indeed he does. Attacker not disordered. He is not. So all good. Requirements are there. So base roll on 9. Remember, it's just the first 2 modifiers that apply. Aggression value, oh no, we didn't. Yeah, we lost a point in that BVR, didn't we? Yeah, so we're only at a +1 now for aggression. And the second one, target in different altitude band, does not apply. So we've got a +1 and we need a 9. So yeah, I'm really hoping this works. 15 +1, 16. That'll do. That's more than 9. Right, so all good. So engagement's happening. So now maneuver, and then shot resolution, depletion, damage allocation. Okay. Right, so maneuver, remember we're rolling on this side this time. However, we do still have 4 aircraft. Yeah. So this is a real good chance at just wiping out this flight. So these are BVR modifiers. Per altitude band difference, no. Defender at low, no. Defender at deck, no. Defender at very high, no. Defender attack from rear arc, no. Defender attack from beam, no. Defender attack from forward arc, yes please. And attacking flight aggression value is +1, so +2 for that, +1 for that. We've got a +3 to this. And we're rolling on this. These are the numbers, and we're rolling on the 4 column. So with a +3, come on, make it high. 9. I don't like that. 9 + 3 is 12. Well, we've got one. We've got one shot opportunity. Okay. Well, you can't have everything, Grant. And all we need to do here is roll big. What was it? Twice the last time we rolled 13 and we were getting a +3. No, rolled 5. We ended up with 17. Anyway, that's what we want. Right, so shot resolution. We've only got one shot. We're going to take it, clearly. Combat value of selected weapon. Well, unfortunately for BVR, the AIM 9L has a +0 for BVR, so no modifier there. And this doesn't apply in BVR. So we've not got any modifiers. So we need to roll big. 16 to 19, that's what we're looking for. Right, here we go. Look at this, look at this. I kid you not. That's my roll. That's my roll. 16, I hope you're not all one. Yeah, right, Grant, right, Grant. We can all do that. Genuine, honestly. Sorry. No, I know I've kept going on about that right through my playthroughs. I don't know if it's just awkward to show dice rolls, you know, I was doing it at some points in some of my games, but I thought, well, if I wanted to manipulate that, I'm quite capable of pausing and, you know, and just editing videos and whatever, if I really want to go down that road. But, well, maybe if I showed you the actual roll and I was to edit it, I suppose it'd be more work for me. Look, I don't do it. This is for my fun. I'm not one, I don't cheat at any solitaire game. Well, I don't cheat at any game. Sorry. But in particular, I wouldn't try anything in a solitaire game. Because, I mean, what is the point? So, 16. One aircraft shot down. How about that? Wow. Well, that was, yeah, just awesome, wasn't it? Right, so I think we're rolling for depletion here. Well, actually, I'm going to have to turn over anyway. So it's depletion first, then damage allocation. Well, to be honest, we don't actually need to roll on this either. But depletion is a 3. Now we roll, well, we only had one shot. Yeah, so it's just a roll as long as we get above a 3. Oh, I've rolled a 2. Okay. Well, you know what? We got the job done there. So that's my infrared missiles done. I do have my gun left. That's all. And yeah. So that was depletion, and then damage allocation. Well, there's one aircraft in their flight. So as you can see, there's no point in rolling a dice here. We're going to shoot down number 1. So their flight is gone. So Rostov flight number 1 is shot down, and we get, what was the name? Nikolai Krasnov. He was flying number 1, and we shot down Nikita Rekolov earlier. And just checking, the Nikolai Krasnov was worth the 5 points, so that's the one we've just shot down just now. Nikita Rekolov was worth 4 points to us. And remember, we also get 2 points for each aircraft shot as well. So 9, 10, 11, 12, we're sitting at 13 points. And their flight is gone. So there's no point rolling a morale here, is there? It doesn't do anything else, does it? Because there's no aircraft left. So even if I adjust their aggression value, jettison check, disordered, abort. No, there's no point, and it's only the defender that rolls on morale. So they're gone. They're out of here. Yeah, that's it. I just looked through the rest of them. You know, we put markers on, BVR avoid markers, bail out. We don't check for bailout because the two aces just bail out and are rescued. So we can take Rostov right away. Max turn marker he had, medium altitude. Yeah, this is easy. Yeah, thinking back, I was just thinking back to mission scenario 1 there, which, well, I won't spoil it, but in case you want to go back and watch it. But, of course, that was just my first experience, everything. Yeah, I think I could make a better job at it now, for sure. But it can come down to some die rolls there. I mean, look, you know, I rolled 16 there, you know. Anything outside that, you know, wouldn't have been the same result. However, yeah, this is went really well. This mission's went really well. And bear in mind, this guy's still disordered, and he's got -2 to his aggression, so he's only getting a +6. He's needing to roll a 14 to get the disorder off. And if he doesn't do that, he'll just sit round about that rally point. And we can just get on with our bombing mission, really. Okay, so that is Chevy done his thing, and he's done it well. And that's all flights moved, isn't it? Oh no, lion. And I didn't mean I'm lying, I meant lion flight. Bit of pun there, I suppose. Anyway, lion. Well, what is he going to do now? I don't really know, because he can't. He's not multi-roll or anything like that. No, I can't really think of anything to. Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, I don't know here. This is new to me as well. Should I fly him into the mix? And if Glasgow flight does get its disorder removed, try and just get in its way a bit. I mean, Glasgow, I don't. Well, no, it does. It does have BVR weapons with a range of 4 from the front. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we should mess about or not. Because he's got to fire on us for us to be able to try and do anything to him. But isn't it worthwhile having that? Well, you're risking your flight getting shot down as well, Grant. Remember. And what's my weapons like then? Yeah, it's the same. It's the AIM-9L. Which, yes. Oh. Yeah, he's got his radar homing missiles. Although they've got a range of 4, at BVR they get a -1 to their combat. Their combat. Whatever it is. What is it? Class it as, call it. Combat value is a -1. So that's not so good. Ours is a 0, but which isn't that much better. But yeah, I don't know. Well, let's just fly. Let's move in just now. Now we're going to. Can we cross through that hex at low altitude? The 2K22. 2K22. Where are we? 2K22 fires at deck and low. Yeah, so we don't want to be doing that. Well, I can climb a medium. Why not? I mean, there's nothing else for him to do. Okay, so he's got this is a tornado flight. He's at low altitude. He's got a speed of 4. I don't necessarily want to dash him, I don't think. So I'll just set speed of 4. I could. He's got loads of fuel, but No, I'll just go speed of 4. Oops. You can see it, Grant. And then I'm going to climb, with my first point, I'm going to climb to medium. And then second point is going to move into there. Sorry, I didn't adjust that. So I've got 2 left. And well, I had 4. So in there, and then 360-degree turn. So I don't want to go over that, do I? Oh no, I'm at medium altitude anyway. It doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, I could have just. Yeah. Oh, I know what. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So and then third point in there, free turn, and then fourth point just in there. Okay, and then we're at medium altitude. Job done. Yeah, I'm like I say, I'm not too sure about if I should be doing any of this or not. Because I mean, Chevy can go after this next turn, but he did lose his missiles there, so he's going in with his guns. But yeah, and remember that's not going to be BVR as well. That's going to be air to air. But did they get a? They're bound to get something for being disordered, aren't they? Standard air to air. Maneuver table. Enemy flight disordered. Yeah, we get a plus. We would get a +1 there, and then there might be something else somewhere. Like, okay, I wouldn't put a marker on Lion because that's the last flight to activate, move, whatever you want to call it. So I'll take the blue cubes off now, and we'll move on. Sequence of play. Fuel phase, don't think anybody used dash throttle this time, so nothing to mark off there. SAM location phase, and this is the phase where we would be able to identify, but we've managed to breeze through that part. Track phase, anything at deck, low, medium, high, medium, no, nothing at deck. So, but we can still check for. Well, both Lion and Chevy are detected. The bombers are not. They're undetected. So we will roll. Card 2, Grant. What have you done with it? Right, we're rolling on detection level C. To see if any of them become undetected. I've rolled 11. On the C is a diamond and curly brackets. So we do have a diamond. He's not on our side of the front. He's at medium altitude anyway. So no, doesn't apply. And for Glasgow, is it Glasgow? Yeah, he's a spade. So we're rolling. We still have the comms failure. Rolling on the E column. 17 on the E column. As a spade. How about that? Wow. Bang on spade. No curly brackets or nothing. That's pretty good. I wasn't sure if he was maybe. I think he is just facing that way because I've got that max turn marker on. Yeah. So that was pretty good for him. At least he's gonna. Well, we've got a chance of. Nah, we're not facing him, I don't think. But we can do that. Anyway. Okay, so that's track phase, SAM acquisition, none of that. Admin phase, right, flights roll for discovery. Disorder recovery, even. So again, he's still got the -2, but he gets the +8 for being rally points. So he's got a +6. Needs a 14 because he needs to hit 20 with us. So here we go. He's rolled poorly. He's rolled a 5. So 5 +6 is only 11. So no, he's not getting out, which is good for us. Just let him sit there. Let our bombers get closer, and yeah, Okay, so I dare say things could speed up a little and maybe get a little less interesting though as the turns move on now. Well, until we get... Well, actually, no. Wizard's going to be able to do a bomb run next turn. So that'll be interesting, because we've not done that before. And then there's no other markers, I don't think. We've got a couple of max turn markers, but they stay on. Yeah, all good. That's the end of the turn. Yeah, on to turn 6. And what's that? That's only 35 minutes. And I've got more time, so let's push on. Right, yeah. Let's roll for a new event. Oops. Things about. Right, event phase. 15. As usual, double check. I think it's 14 we don't count. Yeah, so 15 is eligible. 15 is Sead Strike. Not sure we've seen this one before. I don't, well, maybe. Right, I'm going to put this out there and we'll have a look at it. But I'm just going to check the back of hooded card 5. Yeah, it's got priorities here. Right, hang on. Right, let's read it anyway. So it's number 15 there, Sead Strike. Roll 1d10 again. 1 to 5 it be Warsaw Pact, 6 to 10 it be NATO. That player may make one Sead attack, 31.6. 31.6. I'll look that up just now. Against a located enemy SAM. Well, we don't have any SAMs. EWR. None of that. Radar AAA. Well, we do have the 2K20. The 2K22s are Radar AAA, aren't they? Or active AAA concentration within 20 hexes of the front. 31 point... What was it? 6? Yeah, 31.6. Sead phase. Okay. What the heck's all this? Sead phase. Is that part of the main game? I've not came across that in the sequence of play, have I? Oh, the Sead phase is in the scenario setup sequence. Oh, I think this is just to play SAMs and AAs and whatever. Well, maybe I'll need to have a little read of that to see. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll roll on this first because, and it says on the solo side of the events, it says, I'll just get that. Can you see the Sead Strike there? Target priority, Nike, Hercules, SA-12, Patriot, SA-11. Randomly selected more than one in a category. I have no idea what. I mean, that's obviously the priority of what you're. Why has it got SA-12 zone? That's theirs, isn't it? Why has it got their stuff? Or, hang on, is that the priority I need to follow? No? See, I'd strike target priority. Randomly select. No, I'm reading the wrong bit. Where are we? Sead Strike, roll. That player may make one Sead attack against a located enemy SAM, EWR, Radar AA, or activate concentration within 20 hexes of the front. Well, I don't know why it's got SA-11s and SA-12s and... I'm confused. Maybe I need to read that Sead phase. Yeah, maybe I do. Let's roll a dice to see which one it's going to be first. Roll 1d10 again. So a 1 to 5 it's Warsaw Pact. 6 to 10 it's NATO. Right. I've rolled 9, so it is NATO. That player may make one CAD attack. So that's me that can make the attack. Bot random event instructions, target priority. It's as if it's saying that an SA12, you know, these are the priorities that we would target. That seems a bit bizarre though. Would it not be my choice? SA12 would be our first. Does that mean we've got to target that? Right, I'm going to have to read this CAD phase, and it's quite lengthy. Well, I'll just pause just now and have a wee read it. Yeah, I'm not really sure how this works, to be honest. Here is the CAD table, which yeah, I don't know how this works. And then you've got the CAD attack. So I'm not sure that table's relevant, whether that's for setting things up. It gives you some examples here. It gives you an example. CAD attack roll on an SA12 is a 7. The attacking player rolls 1d10 and adds 5 to determine the number of turns. The SA12 is marked radar suppressed, because that would be, what did I say, a 7, so it rolls to see how long it's suppressed for. I'm not really sure how. I'm a bit baffled by this, and especially when it tells me, when it's got, for the bot instructions, it's showing SA12s and SA11s in here, but if it's, the Warsaw Pact player is not going to target an SA12. I don't think. You sure we're going to, I mean, I can understand them targeting the NATO ones, but why are the SC12s and all that? Why are the Warsaw Pact SAMs in there? I don't know, it's as if I've got to target them maybe that way, that just seems wrong. Anyway, well, you know what, there's no SAMs. So I suppose if we look down that table, if we look down that, there's no SAMs at all. So we've got the choice, but you can see once the SAMs are finished, we've got an AAA, any type, and then randomly select. What I was thinking, the only thing that really, I mean, we're not getting any points. We're not getting any points for them, and we can't attack them anyway. The only one thing I started thinking about, however, was Bad Hersfeld, because we know we're going to have to go into this hex here to bomb this mech. So if we target Bad Hersfeld with this thing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and then somebody can tell me how this works. Or it might just be, I'm confused by the bot event thing, about why it's got all the things. So I guess that's what needs to, I mean, if it wasn't for that, I would say, well, I can target anything I want here, any AAA, any SAM, with no SAMs. We do have these two 2K22s, and I thought about, well, why not maybe one of them, but they don't give us points. And to be honest, they're not that hard to avoid. As long as you stay above low altitude, you're fine. However, this one, we cannot stay above low altitude to move into it, and we're going to take a hit from there. So I'm going to target this white AAA in Bad Hersfeld, which is maybe slightly strange, because it is our, well, I think I'm allowed to do it because it's not really our airfield anymore. The Warsaw Pact have taken that over. It's behind the front. So we're within 20 hexes of the front, and that's what we're going to target. And it's an active AAA concentration within 20 hexes of the front, I believe. I might have this wrong, but I'm going to do it this way, and then we can find out how to do it properly the next time if it comes up. Right, so I think I need this. So I think we're rolling on this CAD attacks, and I've dropped my tweezers. So yeah, well, you know what? Let's just see what we roll. It's just one dice, this. So we want to roll high. Get an equal to a 9. Right, there's no modifiers for SAM, any suppression, C 1821 and 1822. Right, let's just roll and see what we get. Oh, you know what? I've rolled a 2. There you go, no effect. So that was that. But if we had even just rolled a 4 to 6, I want to say that AAA would be suppressed for 1 turn. So we would have suppressed Bad Hersfeld for 1 turn. And if we'd rolled there, we would have suppressed it for 2 turns, and there for 3 turns. That's what I'm seeing from that. I think I need a bit of help with that one though, John. If you've got anything you could let me know that makes it simple how to work that one out. And basically why it's, why it's got that on there. Why it's listing all the NATO / Warsaw Pact SAMs. Yeah, I'm probably missing the obvious, but okay. So the event came to nothing, yeah? Yeah, that's right. Right, let's chuck that back at the way. Right, let's move on to Grant. 45 minutes now. But we should get through another quick turn here, hopefully, before I need to scoot off. Okay, so that was random event, JAMA phase, no, detection phase. So let's roll to detect. Nothing at deck still. So let's roll for our bombers first. On the C column, so they need a 12 or greater. Warsaw Pact needs a 12 or greater to detect. So let's start with Lizard. Rolled a 13. The Lizard is detected. Not really got an awful lot to worry about at the moment though. And then Cylon has only rolled a 9, so he stays down. Lion is detected and Chevy is detected. Oh, but Glasgow is not detected. He managed to get a nice wee roll to get him out of that state, and we'd rather have him back into that state. So we're going to roll in the econ, need a 14, no modifiers. I've rolled an 18. Big roll again. So yeah, we do get him back into detection. There we go. So no need to look into any radar stuff or anything like that. Well, Glasgow. Well, he does actually have a radar, but he's pointing the wrong way anyway. His range is only 8, and yeah, let's just move on, Grant. So that was detection phase over, right, movement phase. So 1 to 6, it's NATO. Rolled a 3, so normal service resumed. So it's us to go first. Draw initiative chip. Oh, I can take this card away as well. How about that? Who would have thought we'd be doing that? Aces? Anyway, okay. I'm sure they'll be back. That's why they weren't getting killed off. Right, that's a big 4 on the large side. So we've got a 2 on the small side. Not sure if you can see that, but it is a 2. So we've got 2 of our flights to move first. Should we try and get... yeah, we probably should try and get Chevy in there and then just get in with his guns. I mean, he's going to have some bonuses against him being at... yeah, we're not going to... Well, actually, we might get in his... medium high. I want to go up to high altitude as well, though, don't I? Brr. Right, let's look at the possibility. We're at medium, so we dash at 6 speed. Right, okay, sorry, I was on pause again for an hour or 2, actually, probably. So where were we at? We had... Right, I've got the initiative chip down here. I've got 2 on the initiative chip. Yeah, and that was for us. And yeah, we decided let's do this. Let's try and mess with Glasgow while he's still disordered. Even though we've only got guns left. So yeah, I want I want to come in from either the rear. Can I come in from the rear? Right, this is going to be standard air combat, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, just try to catch up here. I've just probably want to try and wrap this. That's us up 50 minutes as well, so I'll probably just have this activation and call it a night, I think. So not got much time left. Right, let me pause and find what I'm looking for. Okay, a couple of things. I want the geometry part comes into it if I am in the defender's rear or rear beam arcs. Not so sure I can get into the rear, but I can probably get into the rear beam, which would be here, I think. The second thing is I really want to get a high altitude, which means climbing, and that's going to give a -1 to my manoeuvre rating as a modifier there. But I think it's still worthwhile doing, because you know you get a -1, don't you? That's BVR. You must get a -1 to the altitude band difference somewhere, surely. I'm sure we went through this before, and the same thing. Is it the actual engagement? Yeah, it's the engagement part, which I don't want to mess with either. I do want to actually have the engagement happen. So I think it is. Now we're at medium altitude, so yeah, I spoke about this. I could have a speed of 4, or I could dash to 6, which might be what I need to do when you consider I've got to climb an altitude band. Right, let me pause a second and look at this. Yeah, I think I can actually get in his rear arc just with a speed of 4, because of the fact you're getting 60-degree free turns. So right, let's set a speed of 4, and let's try this. Now I'm facing north, so should remember that. It's probably better to use one of the wee generic flights, isn't it? What I was doing for the Warsaw Pact. Anyway, so speed of 4. So yeah, and how I thought about doing this is climb to high altitude here. Now, hang on. Is it possible I missed counting that movement point? Maybe. But when I do that, I'm also going to take the free turn of 60 degrees. So 30, 60. And then I've got 3 movement points. So, oops, 1. Yeah, I have actually missed. I have actually missed it. 1, 2, 3. Well, I mean, you could go 1, 2, and then 3, free turn of 60 degrees. And then, is that not us in his rear arc anyway? I'm just, it baffles me a little bit, this. So that would be, no, I think that's rear beam, isn't it? Rear arc. Oh, is it? It goes down the spine of that hex. Yeah, so it does. It keeps that on that side. So that would be rear beam. That would be rear beam if I'd done it that way. So I'm saying I could do it at dash. Maybe not, because the turns are going to be not so good. Right, well, let me reset and have a look, though. Well, I was going to reset, but I'm targeting rear hemisphere. Yeah. Yeah, I think as long as I'm in the rear hemisphere, I've got enough benefit. I don't think I get anything extra from being in his rear arc. as long as I'm in his rear hemisphere. Will we just go with that and see? I've got a feeling I'm missing something. But it would make it easier if I just sort of said, right, let's just do it. So I spent all my movement points getting to there, and that's where it started. And I'd climbed to high altitude as well. And I'm going to engage, or attempt to engage, in standard air-to-air combat. So this is the MiG-23, this is us. Yeah, let's do this. I just feel like I've came back, a bit of a rush here and trying to finish this off, and maybe I should have kept it till the morning. Well, not tomorrow morning, because I'm going to be busy tomorrow, so I think that's why I wanted to kind of finish this, because it was like on the edge of finishing the part. So okay, standard air-to-air. Well, I can put the chart in there and we can have a look. Just going to glance at, well, stretch across to there. I'll just leave it like that. I'm looking at the requirements. Defender detected, yeah, not static with friendly flight. Defender within 1 hex and same altitude, or 1 altitude below, yeah, same altitude. Not in same hex, attackers, defender, and forward arc. We do indeed. Attackers undepleted weapon. Well, we have guns. That's all we got. Which also means we'll not get that extra bonus +1 modifier, will we? Okay. Attacker not disordered. Aborted, or did Sam avoid? No, we're not disordered. He is, and I'm hoping that's going to help. All AA or SAM attacks current hex resolved. Yeah, none of that. So we've satisfied the requirements. So here's our engagement. We've spent all our movement points. Yeah, we're no hex away. So we're in the detected day column, which is a base of 10. The modifiers, we look at all of these. Aggression value, we have, hang on. We both roll on this, sorry. We both roll on this. Defender as well, yeah. So we'll do attacker first, that's us. So our aggression value is a +1. Target in different altitude band, no. Flight is disordered. Well, that's not us, so that's going to affect him, so that's good. Target is maintenance / attack. Target in rear hemisphere, again, that's not going to affect us, but it will affect him. So we've got a +1 to our modifier. And that's all we're getting. So +1, so we need a 10 with a +1. Oh, roll bang on a 10, but a +1 makes it comfortable-ish with 11. So we have a success there. So I think there's a good chance of him failing here. Well, he's going to have to roll high. Let's just say that. So his aggression value, is it not -2? Glasgow, -2. So a -2 there. Target different altitude band, no. There you go. I mean, maybe attempted to like do that and like have that extra wee risk to ourselves, but anyway. So -2 there. Flight is disordered. Yes, he is disordered. So that's another -1. -3. Target in rear hemisphere. That's another -1. -4. So he's got a -4 to this, and he needs a 10. He's rolled 11, but -4 is only 7, so he fails on this, which is going to be good. The first time I've seen this. So the results are attacker yes, attacker yes, defender no, which equals attacker surprise, defender disadvantage. So that's some extra modifiers where I think it's just modifiers. I don't think it. Maybe I'll just glance at the. So just glancing, we're on page 18 here. 11.25 surprise and disadvantage. In standard air combat, the engagement roll may give the attacker the advantage of surprise and bonuses in combat and morale. Okay, so it's going to affect the morale as well, so that's good. The defending flight may start the engagement disadvantaged, resulting in penalties to combat and morale. Ooh, I've just remembered something. He's going to try and disengage, I think. In standard area combat, a flight can jettison its air to ground ordnance prior to combat being rolled so as to permit the use of its queen manoeuvre values. Disadvantaged flights cannot jettison. Well, none of us are carrying air to ground. And then defensive wheels never suffer disadvantage penalties. Right, okay, so it's just some modifiers, I think. But I just want to look. Bot flights attempt to disengage if disordered or aborted. So when do we check for the disengage thing? Standard air. Yeah, we've done the prerequisites. Okay. Engagement roll. So we're a yes, he's a no. Combat. Disengagement. In standard, this is page 19, 11.4 is special combat rules, 11.41, which is the first one, disengagement. In standard air-to-air combat, prior to the manoeuvre rules, the defending flight can elect to disengage. Disengaging flights do not roll for manoeuvre and take no shots. Flights attacking a disengaging flight apply a negative modifier to their manoeuvre roll. Disengaging flights do not scatter and are not marked with a manoeuvre marker after combat. Okay, so there's some benefits, but I know there's some negatives too. Well, there we go. They apply a -2 modifier to the morale table roll. Okay, so that's prior to the manoeuvre rolls then. In fact, does it not tell us on this here then? So where we're at, we're having this engagement. So if combat commences, proceed to B. Move the attacking flight, retain its heading, replace generic flights. Announce disengagement. Here we are here, right. So move the attacking flight into the hex of the defender. Right, well we're doing that. So, and it moves in at the same facing. Okay, and we are high altitude, he's high altitude, he's disordered, he's got that max turn, which isn't really relevant. So now we are at the stage where announced disengagement, 11.41, which I've just talked about. So he's going to do that because it says that generic bot flight behaviour, bot flights attempt to disengage if disordered or aborted. So they are disordered, so it says attempt to disengage. Something prior to the manoeuvre rules, the defending flight can elect to disengage. When it says attempt, is there some kind of die roll or something? Yeah, I'm not quite sure why it words it like that. I can't see anything that happens. You know, like I say, it words it as... Maybe there's something that happens at the end. Bot flights attempt to disengage if disordered or aborted. It doesn't... It just says in standard air combat, prior to the manoeuvre rules, the defending flight can elect to disengage. Disengaging flights do not roll for manoeuvre and take no shots. Flights attacking a disengaging flight apply a negative modifier to the manoeuvre roll. Disengaging flights do not scatter and are not marked with a manoeuvre marker after combat. They apply a -2 modifier to the morale table roll. So, yeah, I can't find anything that sort of says if, you know, we're successful at disengaging or not. So we'll move on. So he's not going to roll on the manoeuvre table, and we are. And he's not going to take any shots. So there's a good to this, but I'm guessing it might be tricky for us to get through, but we're going to give this a go anyway. So maneuver, now we have the flight maneuver modifiers and the standard air combat maneuver table modifiers. We are 4 aircraft still, yeah, still fighting along strong, 4 aircraft, and it's not PVR, it's on that side. Now, and like we said, the Warsaw Pact flight's not going to roll on this. It's not going to take any shots, but it's going to mess with our chances, I think. So, flight maneuver rating modifiers. Flight climbed this movement phase, right? Unfortunately, that's the one I spoke of. So we're going to take a hit from that. That's a -1. Flight zoom climbed, no. Marked with maneuver marker, no. Marked with BVR avoid, no. So we've got a -1. Yeah, I'm having fun. -1 to maneuver rating. Now our maneuver rating, which I kind of never really looked at. Well, we're at high, so it's a +6. Yeah, that's a +6 no matter what. That's pretty good. So +6, and theirs is at high a +5. Okay, but that +6 gets a -1 to it, so it's a 5 against a 5. So the actual differential is going to be 0. So maybe not so good then. So differential's a 0. Aggression differential, well, we are a +1. Well, this is going to be good because he's a -2. So we are a +1 and he's a -2. So that's a +3, isn't it? So we get a +3 here, and we don't need to work out what he's doing because he's not rolling on this. So +3 there. The geometry is good for us because it's the middle. It's if the attackers and defenders rear bay marks, we get +1. Okay, so that's now +3 for aggression differential, +1 for geometry. That's +4. Enemy flight disordered. It is. That's another +1. That's +5. Flight has surprise. Oh, yeah. This is good. So, enemy flight disordered, that's +5. Flight has surprise. Yes, we do. That's +8. Flight is disadvantaged. No, because that would be the aim. However, enemy flight is disengaging. Yes, so that takes the +8 down to a +6. Combat at night. No, we're still got a +6 on this, which is like kind of ridiculous, but just shows you that surprise. Well, and the aggression differential. So a +6, and we've got 4 aircraft, so I'm kind of confident we're getting something out of this. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, +6. Oh, I've not rolled well. 7. Could have been better. 7 + 6 is 13. You know what? It's still two shots. So I shouldn't grumble. 13 to 14 on the 4 column. So 2 shot opportunities for us. Now he is not rolling on this and not taking any shot opportunities. Do not roll for maneuver. Do not and take no shots. Flight's attacking a disengaging flight, apply a negative modifier to the maneuver roll. Well, we did, but because we had that surprise, it was like, and then remember, he will not scatter, and he will not be marked maneuver, but it does still roll in the morale table. So we'll get to that. Right, so I've got 2 shots, so let's come and do that. Now, combat value of selected weapon, unfortunately. Oh no, it's our guns. It's our guns. We get a +2. So we've got a +2 for our guns. However, we have no other weapons that we can add on to that because they're all being depleted. So we've got a +2. So this is our first shot. Yeah, so 2 shots. So this is our first shot with a +2. 10, that's not going to cut, is it? 10 plus 2 is 12, yeah, got to get 14 at least grand. So I'm going to take the other shot, obviously. So with a plus 2, 11 plus 2, 13, no effect. Grr. Okay, that's a bummer. Let me just see this, because, well, mind you, I think I need to flip this over anyway. So yeah, just checking, we go depletion, damage allocation, which unfortunately, yeah, that's a bummer. Felt like it was a good chance there. Anyway, we've got morale check as well, so I don't know what will happen to him there, but then he was disengaging, so he's going to come out of that slightly better, I think. Anyway, so depletion. Our guns have a depletion level of 3. We shot twice, so we're getting a -1. I've rolled a 4. That's our guns gone. That's us gone. That's cruel. Mind you, I mean, it's went well for us, but that Chevy completely out of anything. He's nothing more to fight with. Yeah, well, maybe just as well we've got Lion in the mix there. We're going to keep him hanging about, I think. Chevy's just going to basically abort. In fact, well, does he have to abort if he's no weapons left, maybe? It's possible. He's a cat mission. But it's not that he can do anything anyway. So, just checking. Cap, air to ground. Abort when all air-to-air weapons depleted. Yeah, so he's now marked abort. Which, okay, I'll get to. So that was depletion. We had no damage allocation because we never got lucky with our shots. And then morale check. So we both carry this out. So I'll do myself first, although we're aborting anyway, so this might not matter. Aggression value is +1. Had surprise, yeah we did, that's +2. Disadvantage, no. We did no shooting down. Flight is disengaging, that's not us. So we've got a +2 to this roll. I rolled 16, now I get the big rolls. So 16 plus 2 is 18. So no effect there, however, yeah. The damage is done with losing the guns, so we're aborting anyway. Right, but he needs to roll for morale. And we will get marked maneuver as well, whereas he is not gonna. So his morale roll is going to be -2 for aggression. He was disadvantaged, so that's -3. And he's disengaging, so he's getting a -5 for this roll. He's rolled 9, so that's poor. -5 as a 4. So 4 on the air. Oh, look at that. So he's aborting, he's got -3 to his aggression value, but I mean he's aborting anyway, so I think Jettison check is above and adjust aggression values as indicated. Flight aborts 8.4. So he can only go down to -3 in aggression, which he's going to, and he's going to abort as well. What was it, 8.4? We looked at this before, haven't we? Flights abort as a consequence of, any flight that aborts may move freely, unrestricted by the flight path rules. Aborted flights cannot initiate air-to-air combat or conduct air-to-ground attacks. There are no specific restrictions on aborted behaviour because there are too many variables that could that would influence it, but an aborted flight should avoid all combat and attempt to land an eligible aircraft. An eligible airfield, or exit the player area on the west NATO or the East Warsaw Pact. Okay, so he's going to try and land. And he needs to land to be able to remove that abort, I guess. But whether he's got all the turns to do that. So I suppose we ended up with a result after all. So, okay, so combat's over. So some markers, which I'm just going to put in the cards now because it's all obviously cluttery. Right, we get a maneuver marker. Now he does not get a maneuver marker. Now I'm also looking for some abort markers. What colour are they? I don't know, I'm going to have to hunt for them. Give me a sec. So I found them. They're on the back of disorder markers. So we're going to abort because we have no weapons left. He's going to abort. And we also need to undetect both flights. And then mark fuel. Yeah. Right, hang on. I forgot about scatter. That was after morale before these markers are placed. Now he doesn't scatter, but we must still scatter. So let's just look at that. So this should have been before we've got our maneuver marker, okay? So we are facing north, so we're on that one. So we'll roll one dice. See what we get. I rolled a 4, which is even. Throw is even, it stays at current altitude. So 4 is going northwest. So I'm actually going where that disordered marker is. I'm going to put that on there because that's him. So we are just moving in front of him like that, actually. And while we're in there, let's just undetect him. And again, with disengaging, he does not scatter as well. Yeah, I'll just put that on him as well. It's quite handy with the cards there, actually, just chucking the markers on, and it clears away some of the mess. So high, we'll just switch them over. Actually, I'll put that high. They're both at high altitude. He's still at his rally point, but now because he's aborting anyway, he's going to have to land. That looks like his closest airfield there, so we'll put that in place, I guess. You kind of feel, well, the mission's not really over though, because we still need to carry out our bombing. Because, yeah, we need to see how we get on. That could be a complete failure, to be honest. I'd like to think not. I'd like to think our bombers are up to the task, but you never know. So that was scatter. I think everything's finished there. Oh yeah, it was mark fuel, wasn't I? Undetected them. I'm going to mark fuel off. Not that this is probably that relevant either. So Chevy takes a fuel hit, and so does Glasgow. That's his first fuel point. However, the both flights are aborting anyway, so yeah. And I'll just leave the markers on the cards, I think. So that's the end of our movement. That was the first one, right? We did have an initiative with 2. I know I'm at an hour and 19 minutes there, but I don't want to go through the bombing just yet. He's not going to do anything anyway, so what I'll do though is I'll just move my other bomber. And I thought I was heading him up to there, wasn't I? So 1, 2, facing up the spine of that next hex. His max turn where they came off. He's at low altitude still, and that is him. And then that lets me put this part to bed. And that's had 2 initiative, and I will try. Yeah, it was kind of not doing this, where I started doing it at first, wasn't I? So it's going to be Warsaw Pat next turn to play. They've only got one fight, so Glasgow's just going to... Yeah, it's going to start heading back to land, isn't it? I mean, I dare say... What did I say? Did I not work it out? It was like 10 turns to land and take off or something. So, yeah. Okay, that's an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to leave that at that. I don't have any more time as well tonight, so that'll be that. So I'll be... but I've got part 7 waiting to go out there, and this is part 8, I think, isn't it? Or is this part 7? Oh. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll have a couple of parts still to come out. It should keep things ticking over while I've got a day away from it tomorrow, playing some other games, hopefully. Okay, but I'll be probably back on Sunday with another part of this. And it looks like we could probably move swiftly through this to the finish and just see how the bombing gets done. And then that's another scenario going to be out the way. So looking forward to the next one. Well, let's get this finished first, though, Grant. Right, I'll be back probably on Sunday. Not that means anything to you, but I'll be back sometime. Cheers.